for us, we think of it, our digital infrastructure, digital exchange, and the edge are our foundation. And for us, that means, our digital infrastructure is our regional hybrid cores. Right? Equinix allows you to choose all over the world where you want to have these. For us, they're in Silicon Valley, London, and Singapore. That's where our core kind of IT data centers are, if you will. The digital edge, which is connected off of those, is every other office building and IBX globally around the world. So we've got our cores, and then the edge is every other building for us. And then the exchange, where we consume our fabric, right, and connect to all of these various providers. And all of the ones I've mentioned, we have private connections into all of those today on our fabric product. So at the highest level, that's how we view it. The layers are all connected via this consistent, redundant, high performing network. That's again kind of the foundation. We've got multi-carrier redundancy. We've got choice for any carriers. We can, and by the way, we do this. We've got a primary and secondary today. We've optimized our WAN around the world. We've got a low latency, and we have standardized components and deployment procedures, and that's enabled us to achieve, our 4 nines of uptime. And we've basically stayed flat on headcount for several years, despite Equinix continued growth, because of the fact that we've standardized and leveraged the platform for scale. In terms of the compute itself, our strategy is more and more to continue to reduce the actual private colocation cages we have. They're never going to, at least you should never say never, but in the foreseeable future, we will not eliminate our private cages in those 3 locations I mentioned in our core IT data centers. But I would say over time, more and more of our workload, we will continue to push to cloud providers, which we already have quite a big chunk in our hybrid architecture where we run our EcoStack today. The database is on-prem, app and web servers are in a cloud provider, as I mentioned. But I think we'll continue to use more and more of our edge metal product. In the next year, we're looking to move our disaster recovery environment to the edge metal product, again, out of our cage, but still within Equinix, still connected to our global network, still connected to our IT data centers to enable the the interconnection between these services. Our portals are connected to our, quote to cash transaction systems. They're in a separate cloud provider, but because of our ability to interconnect and have that high throughput, all of these different pieces continue to work and function and provide like the business outcomes that they need to. So being on the Equinix platform, having the network as the core, the interconnection options all around the world, it allows us to be agile as we evolve the different services and as different apps continue to come out. There's never a dull moment in technology. There's new services popping up all the time, and anything that shows up anywhere in Equinix, we're able to be nimble and take advantage of, which I think gives us an advantage as an IT org trying to provide value to really drive business outcomes. It's not about the components themselves. It's about agility and enabling new services and not having to say, no, well, that won't work because it has to talk to this and it won't work. Like, all options are available to us, and we're able to solve all these problems as they arise.
And for me, I think the simplicity of it at the core, it's literally just plugging in, your Cat6 network cables into the ECX cage, and then, whether you have an Equinix technician go into your cage and plug it into your server, whether you do it yourself, but it's now through that you can then open up a portal programmatically or physically and now choose, okay, Google or Amazon or this or that, and it's all on those same ports, and then you just increase capacity and you can make your pipes bigger. So that's the simplicity of that paradigm for me is very, very powerful. That then gives a platform for what you're talking about.